A like and a comment go a long way in supporting news stories. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you. She only blocked your stories, so you don't freak out when she posts something fun. I didn't even get it at first. Just stood there, wiping grease off my hands while my brain started ringing. She blocked me. Me. Her husband. So I wouldn't get upset. So I wouldn't see. I didn't ask why. Didn't argue. I just realized one thing. I was no longer part of the version of her life that she actually liked. The one where she smiled into her phone, posted bikini selfies with captions like, just vibes, raked in fire emojis from random dudes, and wrote things like, rebuilding myself. I wasn't in that story. I was out of frame. Invisible. And that hit harder than anything else. Because when you're still living in the same house, sharing the same bed, but you're quietly erased from the part of her world that she's most proud of, it doesn't feel like distance. It feels like exile. Name's Tom. I'm 36. I work as a mechanic in a private garage down in the south part of town. Place isn't much to look at, faded signs, oil-stained concrete, but it's mine. Smells like gasoline, rubber, metal, and the bitter Turkish coffee I make every morning in a scorched copper pot on a hot plate by the back wall. My hands are always black. Even after scrubbing with a wire brush, dirt clings under the nails. Doesn't bother me. I know what I'm doing. I can fix anything with an engine. Anything with a pulse. That's another story. I met Jess 2.5 years ago. She pulled in with a flat, front passenger side blown out, and hopped out of the car like it was nothing. Blonde braid, loud floral shirt, sandals that made no sense for October. She talked fast, joked faster. So, do you guys offer discounts for girls having a really rough day? I was tired, covered in brake dust. But I smirked. We do if they're funny. While I swapped out the tire, she told me about her dog, her job in marketing, how most guys these days are walking beige flags. I didn't say much. She didn't seem to mind. A few days later she came back, not for car trouble, just with a coffee. Thanks again, she said. You look like you could use something warm. A week later we were grabbing dinner. A month after that, we were inseparable. Jess was loud in the best way. She blasted music while cleaning, danced while brushing her teeth, laughed from her stomach. Her apartment smelled like lavender and vanilla candles. Her coffee table was always cluttered with magazines, lip balm, and hair ties. I liked the chaos of it. It made my neat world feel less rigid. She called me grumpy cute. Said I looked like a guy who only talked to cars but secretly had a heart somewhere under all the grease. She wasn't wrong. We did the bathroom together in her place. New tile, new sink. She handed me tools while playing AC/DC from a little speaker. We ate takeout noodles on the floor between boxes. Nothing fancy, just real. When she moved in with me, everything got warmer. She cooked breakfast, packed my lunch, texted dumb memes while I was under a car. One time she cleaned my truck and wrote, I love you, on the hood and window marker. I'm not a romantic, but man, it got me. About a year in, something started to shift. Slowly, like a hinge that creaks more every time you open the door, but you don't notice until it's screaming. She was always on her phone. At first it was harmless. Photos of her dog, coffee, sunsets. Then came the selfies. Then the beach day, thirst traps. Then captions like, loving myself more every day, and energy unmatched. The comments were full of guys. Fire emojis, winks, compliments. One night, I asked, why are you posting those kinds of pictures? She laughed. It's just content, babe. It's what people do now. Relax. I let it go. Didn't want to fight. Besides, she still curled up next to me at night. Still brought home sushi on Fridays. But I started noticing more. She'd hide her screen when I walked in. Swipe things away. Angle the phone differently. One evening I said, you ever think maybe the phone's a bit much? She rolled her eyes. You just don't get it. It's a hobby. It makes me feel good. I didn't push back. The garage had been crazy, and I was too tired to argue over phone apps. But it sat with me. The distance. She had started living somewhere else. Not physically, but emotionally, mentally. She had a new little world that I wasn't part of. The breaking point didn't come from her. It came from her little sister, Linda, 21, art student. She dropped by the garage with a box of spark plugs Jess had ordered and needed me to install. We were chatting while I worked. She was rambling about school stuff. And then out of nowhere, she said, hey, don't be mad or anything, but Jess said she hid her stories from you. Like on Insta, just so you wouldn't get annoyed. She said you always get weird about it when she posts fun stuff. I paused mid-turn, looked at her. She blocked me. Not like blocked, just hid the stories. She said it's temporary. I didn't respond. Just tightened the plug, wiped my hands on a rag, and nodded. But inside, everything cracked. I went home and checked. My name wasn't on the viewers list. The feed showed nothing new. Her page was still there, but her world wasn't. She blocked me. Her own husband. I didn't yell. Didn't text her. I just sat there, staring at my coffee, trying to figure out when exactly I'd stopped being part of her life. That night, I walked into the bedroom. She was on the bed, scrolling. Didn't look up. I shut the door. You blocked me, I said quietly. In your stories. Of all people, you blocked me. She sighed, still not looking. Because you always overreact. Every time I post something fun, you get all controlling. Ask who commented, why I wore that shirt, what I meant by a caption. So you decided I don't get to see anything? I decided I want to enjoy something without being interrogated. I felt the anger rise. You think hiding stuff from your husband is self-care? You think this is about fun? You're posting things for other people and deliberately cutting me out. You know what that is? That's not boundaries. That's betrayal. She snapped her laptop shut. Oh, come on, Tom. I'm not out there doing anything. I'm not lying or sneaking around. I'm running a blog that you clearly can't stand. Because it's not about you. Because I'm not in coveralls and smelling like transmission fluid. So it doesn't count to you. Don't give me that nonsense, I shot back. This isn't about oil and engines. This is about trust. You don't trust me to see what you're putting out there. And if I can't be part of that, then what are we even doing? She stared at the wall. I just wanted something that's mine. Without your judgment. And yeah, maybe it felt easier when I didn't have to see your face after every post. That one hit like a punch. I walked out, poured myself a drink, and sat in the kitchen. The ice clinked in the glass like a countdown. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat in silence. And that's when the silence became our language. We didn't talk the next morning. Not a word. Not a look. She poured herself coffee, left mine cold on the counter. I didn't ask why. Didn't need to. That new silence? It settled in like a tenant that wasn't planning on leaving. The days after that all blurred together. Wake up, eat, work, come home, sleep, repeat. No jokes, no back and forth, just existing. Like coworkers who hate each other but still share the same kitchen. Sometimes we sat in the same room, watching different screens with the volume low. One night, I came home and the house smelled like garlic. She made dinner. Not for us, just for herself. Fettuccine looked decent. I opened the fridge, grabbed cold cuts, made a sandwich like some guy crashing in his ex's spare room. We didn't speak. I took my plate to the garage. You ever live with someone who's still technically there, but completely gone? Week 1, I thought, she'll cool off. Week 2, I thought, I'll be the bigger man and break the ice. Week 3, I thought, forget it. Let her come to me. By week 4, it just became normal. She was a ghost that cooked occasionally. It's wild how fast you can adjust to emotional dead air. Like your body knows not to expect warmth anymore, so it stops reaching for it. Just keeps your hands in your pockets and your mouth shut. That's what I did. Then one night, I came home to find her standing in the kitchen. Same robe she always wore. Hair up, barefoot. The stove was on. She was stirring something in a pot. Cheesy. Smoky. Our old go-to. Cheddar lentil stew with smoked paprika and sausage. We used to make it together on rainy Sundays. I'd chop. She'd stir. We'd argue about the salt. I didn't say anything. Just walked to the cabinet, grabbed a mug, and poured myself some tea. She didn't turn around, but she spoke. I deleted it. I stayed silent. My page. The blog. Everything. I don't want it anymore. Still nothing from me. I was wrong. I thought I was protecting something. I was just pushing you out. I finally spoke low. Then why'd you block me in the first place? She turned. Face flushed, but not crying. Just raw. Because I was scared you wouldn't understand. That you'd judge it. I felt silly needing your approval. So I cut you out instead. You didn't feel silly. You felt like hiding. I said. I know. And it backfired. She looked down at her feet. Then up at me. I miss us. The old us. When you used to bring me pastries from that gas station you swear has the best croissants. When your hands were always covered in grease and you'd still touch my face. When we sat on the bathroom floor eating noodles out of boxes. I set the mug down. Show me. She blinked. What? Show me what you posted. The stuff I wasn't allowed to see. She left the room and came back with her tablet. Sat it down in front of me. Photos. Mostly harmless. A few poses in workout gear. Some of her smiling in that flirty way she used to do for me. Captions like leveling up and main character energy. A few messages from guys in the comments. She hadn't replied to most of them. 1 or 2 hearts. But nothing overt. Nothing explicit. Still, it was curated intimacy. For strangers. Not for me. I closed the tablet. Looked her in the eye. All that. And you thought I'd be the problem? She bit her lip. I was the problem. No argument here. I didn't say, I forgive you. Didn't offer some grand moment. Just walked over and pulled her into a hug. She tensed at first, then melted into it. She smelled like rosemary shampoo. And something familiar crept back in. Not love. Not yet. Trust. The next few days were quiet. But not the bad kind. The kind where people are tiptoeing back toward each other, waiting to see if the floor will hold. She started making coffee again. Not just for herself, 2 cups. Left one by the garage door. I didn't say thanks. She didn't expect it. I drank it anyway. She started watching TV with me again. Sitting close. Not touching, but closer. I'd catch her glancing at me when she thought I wasn't looking. I didn't call her out on it. Just let her look. One afternoon, she brought lunch to the garage. I made that couscous thing you liked. I wiped my hands. Didn't know you remembered. Didn't know you still liked it. I shrugged. Still do. We stood there awkwardly until I finally broke it. You want to eat here or? I'll sit with you. That was the first full conversation we'd had in weeks. 20 minutes on mismatched chairs, eating out of Tupperware between shelves of tires and oil cans. It felt good. Familiar. Like finding an old shirt you forgot you loved. Later that week, she asked if I needed help reorganizing the kitchen. I said sure, even though I didn't. While we wiped cabinets and sorted junk drawers, she handed me a rusted screwdriver. You were looking for this last year. You put it in the foil drawer. I thought it was one of those weird bottle openers. We both laughed. For real this time. No tension. No subtext. Just a moment. And slowly, we came back. I started noticing how she hummed while folding laundry. How she tapped the counter twice after making tea. How she leaned into me again when she talked. She wasn't trying to prove anything. She was just being herself again. And letting me see it. One night, I came home late. She was on the couch, in sweats, scrolling her phone. When I walked in, she didn't hide it. Just looked up and said, hey. And that's simple. Unguarded, hey, hit harder than 1,000 apologies. A few days later, we went grocery shopping together. First time in months. She tossed a pack of gum into the cart. My brand. I looked at her. You still remember? She smiled. Your jaw gets tight when you're thinking. Gum helps. I shook my head. You always notice the strangest things. That's how you know it's real. On the drive home, she didn't put on music. Just sat there, quiet. Your hands are shaking, she said. Long day. Or maybe muscle memory, she teased. I snorted. Muscle memory for what? For me. I didn't reply. Just kept driving. That night, I woke up and she was sleeping on my shoulder. First time in a month. I didn't move. Let the feeling sink in. Next morning, she made breakfast. Eggs, toast, the usual. I sipped my coffee and asked, you still afraid it's gonna fall apart again? She leaned on the counter. Only if we stop talking. Then let's not. Deal. A couple weeks passed. Life returned, slow but steady. She started swinging by the shop again. Not every day, just when she had time. Sometimes with coffee, sometimes just to hang around. Didn't even talk much. Just sat there while I worked. She started handing me tools again. One morning, she brought me an old photo album. The one with the renovation pictures. The bathroom, the tile. Us eating noodles on the floor. She flipped through it, pointing at dumb faces I'd made. Laughing at her awful handwriting on sticky notes. I thought it'd always be like this, she said. Me too. I thought I needed to be someone else to feel alive. You ever think maybe you just needed to be seen? She didn't answer. Just reached for my hand. And this time, she held it. I didn't say we're good. And she didn't ask. But something shifted. She started showing me what she posted. Not every little thing, but enough to let me in. A picture of her coffee mug, her morning run, some makeup tests she did in the mirror. Nothing wild. Just real stuff. Our stuff. Every now and then she'd flip the screen toward me and say, that caption work? Or too much. Sometimes I said yeah. Sometimes I shrugged. She listened either way. It wasn't about control. It was about not hiding. That mattered more than anything. We weren't perfect. I still kept my guard up. She still had moments where I caught her second-guessing what to say. But we were trying again. And trying, honestly trying, goes a long way after weeks of walking past each other like ghosts. One Sunday, she climbed into bed next to me while I was reading. No words. No agenda. Just curled up and let her head rest on my chest like she used to. After a few minutes she asked, real quiet, do you think we're okay now? I didn't answer right away. I wanted to give her something real, not some throwaway. We're not broken, I said. Just scratched up. She nodded against my chest and didn't move for a long time. That night, she fell asleep with her hand on my stomach like she used to. And I think that's when I finally exhaled. The kind of breath you don't even know you're holding. The next morning, I found her staring at herself in the bathroom mirror, rubbing her forehead with both hands like she was trying to push her skin back into place. You good? I asked, still half asleep. She didn't answer for a second, then turned to me, pale. I think I'm pregnant. Now, I'm not the dramatic type. I don't gasp or pace. I just stood there, towel over my shoulder, looking at her. You think or you know? I've been nauseous all week. I've been crying at dumb things. And my chest hurts. That usually means something. You take a test? I'm scared to. I scratched my jaw. Well, let's be scared together then. We'll take it tonight. She nodded, didn't say a word. just leaned into me, forehead against my collarbone. I wrapped my arms around her and let it be quiet for a bit. You ever hold someone you love and realize you're terrified? That was me. But I didn't pull away. And she didn't flinch. So maybe we were finally in sync again. That night, she took the test, locked herself in the bathroom while I sat on the couch pretending to watch some documentary I didn't care about. Felt like the longest 3 minutes of my life. She opened the door and came out slowly, holding the test like it was radioactive. Sat down next to me without a word and set it on the coffee table. 2 lines. Clear as day. She didn't cry right away. Just stared. So did I? After a while, I exhaled and said, well, guess we need the big tub after all. She laughed through a sob and buried her face in my chest. And I held her, tighter than I had in months. We didn't talk about names or nursery colors or any of that. We just sat there, quiet, holding hands. The kind of quiet that doesn't feel empty. The days after that were different. In a good way. She glowed, but not in the cliché pregnancy glow way. More like she was breathing easier. Like something inside her had clicked back into place. She stopped posting for a while. Said she didn't need it. Said she wanted to feel present, not viewed. I didn't push. I just listened. Brought her decaf coffee and crackers when the nausea kicked in. Started learning about prenatal vitamins and weird food cravings. She craved pickles and peanut butter. Together. Don't ask. One evening she sat on the kitchen floor, back against the cabinets, and said, I'm scared I'll screw it up. Us. The baby. Everything. I sat down beside her, handed her a slice of apple. You will screw stuff up, I said. So will I. That's just life. But we're not going to disappear on each other again. That's the promise. She nodded and took the apple. Sometimes, I still think about that silence between us. The way she looked away. The way I stopped trying. It creeps in when I'm changing oil or stocking tires. Little flashes. But then I come home and see her sitting on the couch, legs tucked under her, scrolling baby clothes like it's her new religion. And I remember, we came back. We didn't start over. We rebuilt. That's different. One day I came home to find her reorganizing the closet. Guess what I found, she said. What? Your hoodie. The one I borrowed, and then claimed was mine. You mean the one you stuffed behind the pillows and lied about for a year? Exactly that one. She tossed it at me. I caught it and laughed. Still smells like me, I said. She smirked. And that's exactly why I liked it. Moments like that, small, dumb, warm, they meant more than the big apologies. Because they were proof. Proof that the version of us we missed wasn't dead, just dormant. A couple weeks later, we were sitting on the porch, sipping tea. She was bundled in one of my sweatshirts again, rubbing her belly in slow circles. Still early. No bump yet. Just the idea of one. You still think I'm hiding things? She asked out of nowhere. I shook my head. Not anymore. I hated that version of me. The one who shut you out. I hated the version of me who let you. She looked over, eyes soft. We're idiots. No doubt. But we're our kind of idiots. I raised my mug. To us. She clinked hers against it. To second chances. The garage hasn't changed. Still smells like gas and burnt rubber. Still got a coffee ring on the desk from her first visit. But I don't mind it now. It's part of the story. She still swings by sometimes. Brings snacks. Talks my ear off about baby swings and strollers and diaper brands. I pretend to care. Mostly. And every time I hear her laugh now, I don't flinch. Because this time, I know I'm not blocked out of it. Funny thing is, life didn't suddenly become perfect. It's not like we flipped a switch and everything turned back to how it used to be. The old us was gone, and I had to stop mourning it. What we had now, it wasn't about going back. It was about moving forward without dragging the silence behind us like a dead limb. She still had her moods. I still had my walls. But now we called each other out. We didn't bottle things. We didn't go to bed pretending the tension wasn't there. If she felt something, she said it. If I was upset, I didn't bury it under it's fine. I said it. And it made all the difference. I remember one random Thursday morning, middle of December, cold enough that my breath fogged up the truck windshield before I even turned the key. I was late for work, fingers numb, half asleep. I opened the driver door and found a small paper bag on the seat. Inside, 2 sausage breakfast rolls, a thermos of hot coffee, and a sticky note. Stay warm. We love you. We. I sat there a minute, holding the note. Didn't move. Didn't start the truck. That little word carried more weight than any big speech ever could. That's when it finally landed. She wasn't just back. She was with me. Fully. In this. For real. I smiled like an idiot the whole way to the shop. A few weeks later, we had a checkup appointment. Ultrasound. I'd never seen one before. Hell, I didn't even know what I was looking at on that little fuzzy screen. Looked like static. But Jess's face changed. Softened. Lit up in this way I hadn't seen since way before the silence. That's it, the text said. That's your baby. I looked closer. Heartbeat flickering like a tiny signal. Something about that flicker, like a blinking dashboard light, hit me. I felt it in my chest. Not fear. Not even joy, really. Just clarity. This was ours. Later that night, she asked, "Are you scared of messing it up?" Of course. Me too. But I'm not walking away. Not again. Promise. Yeah, promise. And this time, she believed me. And I meant it. We spent the next months prepping for the baby, sorting through gifts, folding impossibly small clothes, arguing over cribs. She made a spreadsheet. I built a changing table that leaned left because I eyeballed everything. Classic. Some nights we just lay on the couch, her head on my chest, scrolling through baby name apps. We vetoed everything. Too trendy. Sounds like a dog's name. Reminds me of my weird cousin. It was stupid, but it felt right. It felt like us again. She posted again eventually. Nothing wild. No curated captions or staged selfies. Just her with a book, her belly peeking through a hoodie. She tagged me. The caption just said, "Us." Simple. Real. And this time, I didn't flinch. I smiled. I opened the comments. Some guy wrote, "Lucky guy." Yeah, I guess I was. You know, sometimes I still think about that version of us before everything went sideways. The bathroom tiles. The noodles on the floor. That stupid marker she wrote on my hood with. Back then, I thought love was supposed to be easy. Turns out it's not. It's choosing the person, even when they frustrate you. Even when you feel pushed out. Even when you have to bite your ego and stand still in the storm. But it's also getting chosen back. And that's the part that makes it worth it. A few months later, she gave birth to a girl. 6 pounds, full lungs, tiny fingers wrapped tight around mine. We named her Ellie. Simple. Solid. Just like we wanted. And when I first held her, all those months of tension, silence, and wondering what the heck we were doing, they just vanished. Not because she fixed everything, but because now I knew I wouldn't let it break again. We built something better, stronger, quieter maybe, but rooted, real. So yeah, that's the story. She blocked me once. But now, every morning, she leaves her phone on the counter, face up, unlocked. Not because I asked her to, but because she doesn't have anything to hide anymore. And you know what? I don't check it. I just drink my coffee and kiss the girl I almost lost. Let me know what you think. Was I too harsh? Should I have handled it differently? I honestly wonder sometimes. Drop a comment. I'll be reading.